You guys would be shocked by the amount of people who reach out, who go, I can't wait to retire. I'm going to retire. I'm going to be 62. I'm retiring early. Medicare is going to come on at 65. I've got to tackle healthcare in the meantime. I don't know if I can afford it, but I kind of have my time and energy now, and I want to make sure I still can travel. And then all of a sudden, a healthcare event occurs. And now that travel that they were so excited to do is not happening at the degree they wanted. I talk about the story often of a woman who reached out who said she was upset that she had $3 million. And I said, listen, lady, I don't want to be mean here. There's a lot of people that would love to have 3 million. So what do you mean you're not happy? And she said, you don't understand. I said, that's true. Tell me. She said, I don't need 3 million. If I had 2.5 million, I could have done everything I wanted and more. I just work 4 more years unnecessarily where I was sitting, and now my sciatica has acted up, and I don't think I'm going to be able to travel to the degree I wanted. That's a powerful story. In our new series, Root Drops, which is what you're watching right now, you're going to get a drop of knowledge from one of my amazing advisors here at Root. Now, in just a second, we're going to start going through an example, but how do we decide what we talk about? We actually decide from you guys. So if you look at my screen right now, you'll see this was a comment that was left. And these comments, I'm personally going through and reading. These are inside our Root Collective. This is our free community. So if you want to drop your own comment and you want to potentially be addressed in the future, you can go in the description of this video. It's right above that comment section, and you can see a link to be able to join this. This comes from Mike Van Driesen, who says health issues. My wife and I both have health issues. We will self-insure, but we'd also like to leave our only daughter with a legacy. I'm afraid health costs later on will derail everything we've worked for. Not sure moving forward how to handle. Any suggestions would be great. We're 61, 57, 5 years out. Our daughter's a junior in college. No idea how that will turn out with a history degree. At best, we've got 15, 20 years less. Plus, I have advanced glaucoma. So there's a lot going on there. I want to bring in one of our advisors now to give you some thoughts. Ben, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, Mike, thank you for your question and how lucky your daughter must be to have you as a parent to be thinking so far into the future about her. This is such an important question because it's not just about math. Obviously, you're talking about the finance piece of it, but what you're also talking about is family dynamics. You're concerned about her. The parenting really never stops, even though she's close to the end of a really big part of her life. So I encourage clients to think through exactly what leaving a legacy actually means to them and to their kids. So what I found is time and time again, many kids aren't expecting an inheritance necessarily. And in fact, a lot of them say, please just take care of yourself. I don't want to worry that you're cutting corners on your care and those last 10, 15 years that they get with you are less than optimal, or maybe you're a burden on them unintentionally because you're worried about what they're going to get when you're gone. And that comes with a whole other slew of downstream effects. So if that's the mindset that your daughter has, it might actually give you permission to shift your focus away from how much am I leaving behind versus maybe what can I provide to her now, or how much better can my care be while I'm still here. And that is also a component of the plan whenever we're looking into the future. How big of a buffer is there? People get really worried about healthcare costs in the future, but if there's a really big buffer in your plan for catastrophic healthcare expenses and what you have left at the end to cover, it might change how you prioritize and spend your money. There's also something that people often overlook, which is you don't have to wait until the end of your life to give. Your daughter's about to enter a really maybe difficult period in her life, finishing school and entering the workforce. One day, maybe she'll be buying a home or raising a family. She might much more appreciate the money or gifts or generosity of what you leave behind at that stage in her life versus maybe 20, 25 years from now. So ultimately, it's about choosing how to balance those two pieces and honestly finding out what the answers from your daughter might be and what the rest of your family thinks about where the priorities in the financial landscape lie.
Balance is everything, guys. I know it's cliche, but the truth is, in this case specifically, I don't want Mike, and this might sound odd, I don't want Mike to be mad at us if he was our client, hypothetically, at 80, going, hey guys, so it turns out my health is still a serious consideration, but our investments have done really well. And now we have $4 million and we wish we didn't. And you'd be like, really? Do people come to you that often with that? You would be surprised. We don't want clients to go, wow, we've done great. We're 80 with millions where we could have helped our child more. We could have retired earlier. They said they're 5 years out. What if they could retire earlier and start prioritizing their health more for more longevity? To Ben's point, how do we bring in our daughter into this conversation as opposed to traditionally what people do is go, yeah, we're just going to leave over what's left at the end. No, how do we really make a partnership? Now, there's natural biases and heuristics that we all have that we need to manage. Sometimes it's helpful to have a financial advisor to play that role because they don't want to hear it from mom and dad. I know it was weird with my parents, just naturally bringing up, mom, dad, I want to make sure that whatever you want happens. But I also am going to feel bad if we don't talk about it. And all of a sudden you pass and now I don't know what your wishes are. So it can come from a healthy place as well. I hope you resonated with this drop of knowledge from Ben. If you are watching right now going, hey, that was helpful. I really think the way Ben explained that resonates with me. I think my spouse would like that as well. This seems like someone who not only really knows and has worked with people who retire early, who are going through these different health situations, but is someone I think I'd like talking to. If you go to our website, rootfinancial.com, in the upper right, you're going to see a little button. And that button says, click here to see if you're a fit. You can actually request to work with any of our advisors like Ben, and that can happen within a week. So we're excited at the opportunity to help you. If you're watching this video and you're not a client of Root and you're just digesting our information, that's awesome. We put all this content out for free to help you guys. I only have one favor. Please like this video. Please comment if there's something that you learned. And then finally, it's way more fun to retire early with your friends. So please share this video with someone you want to retire early with. So when you retire and you travel and you enjoy it, there's someone you can do it all with. That's it for this episode. See you guys next time.